my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Wahala they finish for Nigerian politicians. Nigeria with their wahala, all these Nigerian politicians, hey, they are always looking for who they will put their frustration on. Anyway, today I am with Arise TV, Arise News, Premier Time, where Mr. Charles of Arise TV will be interviewing Mr. Magnus Abe. Okay, yes, my beautiful people, what are they going to be talking about? Fubara and Wike Rivers State crisis. What has been happening? I don't know. According to this video, they say the Supreme Court has intervened, but still no avail. Even our president, Mr. Tinubu, has intervened. Everybody, Wike is saying no, Fubara is saying no. So let's just listen to Mr. Magnus Abe, what he has to say in this interview with Mr. Charles of Arise TV. My beautiful people, please like this video, share this video, subscribe if you know you have not yet subscribed. And my name is Joyce Anyanwu. Thank you, and let's just dive straight to the video.
The government has done nothing to end that sentence, if anything, can be salvaged from the political ruins of Rivers State before the state plunges into even deeper darkness. After many months of tense confrontation between a political godfather and his erstwhile godson, everything is at once looking ever more turbulent and uncertain. The latest Supreme Court judgment has done nothing to end that sense of uncertainty and to lower the temperature, though opponents of Governor Fubara and supporters of Minister Wike have reacted with glee at the spectacle of their political enemy being publicly rebuked by the country's highest court. Governor Fubara has called for calm and has indicated that while he'll implement the decisions of the Supreme Court, the battle isn't over yet. Some have suggested that the courts can only do so much and that the machinery of politics will have to kick in to bridge the crisis. But given that even President Tinubu himself has intervened and does not appear to have succeeded in calming things down, how much have the two men become intractably and implacably at opposite ends? Reaction and assessment. I'm joined now in the studio by the former senator representing Rivers Southeast, Magnus Abe, who is the current chairman of the board of the National Agency for the Great Green Wall. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Charles.
And nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you.
How do you react to this latest development in Rivers State? Because you've had nearly 2 years, not you personally, but your state has had nearly 2 years of political conflict now. And I wonder whether you think that the Supreme Court judgment moves the needle towards or away from a lasting peace.
Well, Charles, the way I see it is that the Supreme Court courts do not go to look for cases to adjudicate. It is the parties, when they are unable to reach any kind of resolution, that take their issues before the courts. And the courts exist to interpret, implement, and enforce the law. And that is exactly what is happening in this case. To begin with, I must say that all along, I had always insisted that this was not a matter for which we needed the courts, because common sense alone would have predicted or indicated or compelled us to look for a solution outside of the courts.
A political solution.
A political solution. Because let me give you an example. You have a situation in which a state, you have 3 local governments represented in the House of Assembly. And that means 20 local governments are not represented. Now, in a normal situation, if people were to come to Rivers people to say, okay, there's a situation that has arisen, only Bonny, Opobo, and Ahoda East will decide things in the state for some time, nobody will agree to it. Nobody will agree to it. People will shout marginalization, Ogoni people will not be there, Kalabari people will not be there, Ikwere people, how will that work? Nobody will agree. But because human beings have their own interest, something that everybody can see that it is wrong and it is unacceptable and it is unworkable, people were ready to fight for it and stand for it. So when human beings, being human beings, behave the way we behave, you have no other recourse than to go to the courts to get these things resolved. So even without the courts, nobody needed to have told us that this was a situation that is unsustainable and is unacceptable. And that's why the framers of the Constitution went through every kind of, would I say, every kind of effort to ensure that such a situation never arises in any state. Because knowing us the way we are, if all these provisions were not there for minimum membership, for quorums and all that, people will simply say the House will sit at 2. Before you come at 2, they told you they finished at 10, and 3 people have taken decisions. So,
yeah, but you're a politician.
I'm a politician.
That's what you guys do, isn't it?
That's why I'm saying that the Constitution went out of his way for all of us to understand that that is unacceptable and that will not be tolerated. But people were still prepared to do that because it suited their political interest. So it is our own behavior that makes the need for the courts to step into these issues and resolve them with finality inevitable in the kind of society in which we are.
But of course, on the other hand, I mean, you've got the same sort of thing that you're talking about, because that's one side of the story. On the other side, you've got the law being reasonably clear on the issue of defection, for example. I mean, the cases found themselves in court, most notably the defection of the lawmakers loyal to vs.Wike. But then in the middle of the defection process, and that's where, again, politicians come in. In the middle of the defection process, they suddenly appear to have backtracked.
No, let me say this.
The question remains, let me just make the point and then you pick up from there. The question remains, before they pulled back, did they complete the legal processes required for defection beyond the sort of rather grand statements that they made? In other words, did they, somebody pointed this out actually, did they write to their parties? Did they submit letters of resignation? Did they say they were intending to defect? Did they subsequently apply for membership of the other party? And are all these steps that are needed for defection to become legally acceptable and sealed in the eyes of the law? Or is it just the politicians finding a way to sort of move things around and manipulate things?
Charles, let me say this. Defection in this country is not new. I was a member of the People's Democratic Party. I defected on national television on the floor of the Senate. 11 of us did. We retained our membership of the Senate. We retained our chairmanship of our committees. Even last month, people defected in the House of Reps from Delta states. Every month in this country, people defect. The day the Abia State government was in Rivers, some members of the PDP defected to the Labour Party in Abia State. They are still members of the Assembly. So this whole issue is, to me, baseless. First of all, how do you... I'm coming, sir. Just a minute. How do you become a member of a House of Assembly or a member of a legislature? You become a member when you are given an oath by the Speaker of the House. That's how you become a member. So, no, even if you win your election, you get your certificate of return from INEC, it doesn't make you a member. Your name will not get into the accounts of the House. Your name will not be, you won't have a tag, you won't have a seat unless you're sworn in by the Speaker. So how do you cease to become a member? Even if you defect, nobody can stay in their house or stay on the radio and say you're no longer a member of the House. That is not the way it works. The Speaker will have to declare your seat vacant. There's a formal process by which you cease to be a member of the House of Assembly. It's not from the radio. It's not from the television. So even if it is written in the law that you will be a member of the House if you win an election, you won't be until you're sworn in. So even if it is written in the Constitution that you will cease to be a member of the House if you defect, you won't cease to be a member until your seat is formally declared vacant.
Well,
now, I'm coming,
I guess that's why it ends up in court.
That's why
for the interpretation.
Yes, that's
right.
I'm coming. And secondly, sir, now when you say 27 members defected in a house of 30-something members, it means that the members that are left are not enough to form a quorum. So nobody could have declared anybody's seat vacant if all the members defected. So the whole issue of defection to me is really neither here nor there. And even next week, next month, people will still defect.
Okay.
And as long as they defect to the side where the speaker is, he's not going to declare their seat vacant.
I'm going to come back to you in a minute.
Even this issue was dealt with the Supreme Court effectively in this case, because I was there in the court.
Right.
And I heard
I'm
what the
going to
Supreme
come
Court
back to this in a minute, and I'm going to want to ask you where exactly you stand on the issue of this crisis in Rivers State.
Well, to be very honest with you, I'm not I'm not a member of the People's Democratic Party, but as you know, the Minister of the FCT is working with President Tinubu, who is the leader of the APC, and we in the APC in Rivers State, we're happy to work with him. So politically, we're working together. But as a Rivers man, and as somebody who has a very, very clear interest in the progress and prosperity of our state, I think that these matters go beyond which party you belong to and what divide that you belong to. The peace, progress, stability of Rivers State is a responsibility of all of us. And we have an obligation to take an interest beyond the norm in trying to see that things move in the right direction.
So, I mean, I'm wondering how much this Supreme Court judgment on the crisis in Rivers State is a step in the right direction in terms of settling the simmering conflict between the two sides in Rivers State. Because, I mean, I'm looking at trying to find out the best way from people like yourself who understand the state better than most of us and who is a politician, how best to bridge this crisis, or whether it's now become impossible to do so because the two men, as I said in the intro, are intractably and implacably at opposite ends.
I think it is wrong to always bring this back to two men. There are over 5 million Rivers men and women who have an interest in what happens.
Yeah, but the issue is between the two of them.
And over and beyond that, you have 32 members of the House of Assembly who were elected the same day as the governor was elected in the same election. So it is difficult to now reduce their own interest and every other interest to that of Wike and Governor Fubara.
Yeah, but their interest is linked to one or the other. I mean, it's fairly obvious. We're not, I mean, nobody's making up stories. It's a fact.
Yes, it is a fact that interests are linked and aligned. But if you would recall, at the start of this crisis, even before I got any kind of headway into what was going on, I was here in this studio. And I said from the beginning that this is a matter that needs to be resolved politically. And it needs to be resolved quickly. Now, when you have a situation where a governor of a state has less than 3 members of the House supporting his administration, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that that will not end well. And when people continue to give you the impression that something that is not workable will work, they are doing you a disservice. Now, even after the Supreme Court judgment, I saw headlines like Governor Fubara hailed for agreeing to obey the Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court judgment is a Supreme Court judgment. When the person who won the election as governor-elect in Bayelsa was removed the night before the election, nobody hailed him for obeying the judgment. He didn't have a choice. When Governor Ihedioha was removed as governor of Imo State, nobody hailed him for agreeing to. You don't need to agree. But once the Supreme Court takes a position, that is the position of Nigeria. So when people continue to give you the impression that you have options, when obviously you don't have one, you're not being properly advised. That's one. Secondly, I was in the court and I listened to the Supreme Court's judgment. Now, there was a case in which affidavits had been filed and everything was already in, and the governor's lawyers withdrew from the case. And the case was heard and determined on the merits. And what the Supreme Court said was that based on the affidavit evidence that was uncontroverted, which you admitted when you didn't contest it, You destroyed the House of Assembly. You did all these things because you were afraid that you would be impeached. And the court went on people don't listen to the judgment. The court went on a historical perspective to even talk about situations like this where the executive attacks the legislature because of the fear of the powers of the legislature over the executive. And that kind of situation must not be tolerated and will not be allowed. And so even the issue of defection, they said they will not consider it because it came up after the attack on the legislature as an institution.
Well, it's also in another court, isn't it?
No, it's not there. It's over.
It's making its way
No,
up.
no, there is nothing like that. It's over because the Supreme Court has pronounced on it. That's the way the judiciary works. I'm a lawyer. Once the Supreme Court takes a position on a matter, that matter, as far as the Federal Republic of Nigeria is concerned, is finished. Nobody can litigate on it anymore. It's over. So that's the reality. So if people don't present you the proper picture, you cannot take the right decisions. So when people keep giving you the idea that you have options, when actually you don't have them, you're not in a proper position to actually navigate a way forward.
Right.
Facing the reality of the situation would help to be able to navigate a way forward for the peace of the state. That's the point I just want to make clear.
Okay, well...
For people. Nah, man, Wike would not agree. Fubara would not agree. I don't know. According to what Charles has just said, that even the president has tried to settle this matter, the court has tried to settle it. Everything is just on the like everything is not working, you know. And what this Mr. Magnus Abbey is saying is that Fubara has lost because the Supreme Court has declared him, and one thing I have to say, I don't really know what is going on with Wike and Fubara. I can really understand why Wike is so angry, because he is the one that brought Fubara into this seat, and bringing Fubara into this seat, and Fubara now turn against Wike because he don't take instructions from Wike anymore. He want to do his own things as a governor of a state. This is one thing I have come to realize in this life. That is why in anything you are doing, work hard, very hard, to achieve that thing your own way, to achieve that thing yourself, because when you wait for anybody to help you succeed that what you are pursuing, remember that person is going to be in charge. You will just be sitting there like people will be seeing you, but the decision, running of the state, the decision, everything is that person, that godfather that put you there is the one now that will be telling you what to do. It's just like engine house in the behind scene, pushing you, telling you, like telephone that is telling you that do like this, do like that. That is what you will be doing. So, but if you say no, I will not do those things, I cannot do it, then you become their enemy. They will fight you to the last drop of the last blood drop of their blood. So, according to Fubara, now Fubara has said that me, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not scared of anybody. The worst that can happen is for you people to remove me from office. Anyway, I don't know. Very soon, 4 years will be over, and I know that 100% Fubara cannot sit in that place again. So 4 years will be over, and he will go his way, because some people they don't like people to intimidate them. That is what I have come to realize in this Rivers State governor. Yes, They don't like people to control them. They don't like people to tell them what to do, because them themselves, they believe that they are adult and they are educated. They know the right things to do. You cannot tell me, like for example, telling me that, oh, go and buy somebody, when I know that buying of person is a sin, is against the law, and because you want me to go and do it, then if I don't do it, I become problem. So let these two people really come out and tell us what is their problem. Why are they fighting themselves? It's Wike that put Fubara there. Why is he turning against Fubara now? Why is he fighting Fubara, to trying to do everything to bring him down? Anyway, my beautiful people, I don't know what to say in this matter. So we have watched what Mr. Magnus Abe has just said. So what is your take? What did you think about this River State crisis? This River State, in short, according to what Charles has just said, he said this matter is between Godson and Godfather. That is just, no matter how they are painting it, that is what is happening between Godson and Godfather. When a Godson don't want to listen to Godfather, what will Godfather do? He will do everything to bring the Godson down. So that is what is happening there. Let them not be twisting this thing this way, twisting that way. What I really know, what is the problem, is between Fubara and Wike. That is the only thing I know in this River State crisis. So if they come together, because Wike, he want to be where it is, and be controlling River State affair. He want to sit down, he want to take over River State the way Tinubu has taken over Lagos. That is what Wike want to do. Wike want to be in the position of I want this one, I want to be whatever he is, to be controlling Fubara. Anyway, my beautiful people, I don't know what to say in this matter, so drop your own opinion in the comment section. If you have watched this video to this time, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share. For my subscribers, thank you. For my returnings, I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.